Thanks, Mark. Millions of people will be struggling to get to work today. Well, hopefully you're already there if your job started around 8 o'clock this morning. But anyway, it is kind of a groggy day for a lot of us. And Adam, we're going to talk about the game in just a second. But, you know, if you planned that big Super Bowl party, a lot went into it, right? All of that great planning, and then boom, there it is. Time to have that celebration. That's when all the good planning pays off. So we're going to talk a little bit of football. Adam Wolf is here because it's Monday, and For Your Money is on Monday. And Adam is one of the area's leading financial advisors, and he joins us every Monday for all of the information that you should already know, but I'm a good example that most of us don't know. So how in the world did I tie party planning into retirement? It's all about planning. But first, let's talk about the game. Awesome, huh?
Thanks for having me. Yeah. So, you know, with me yesterday, taking care of my girls at the house, a little bit under the weather, you know, I made it to about the beginning of the third quarter, which was the wrong time to stop watching it and falling asleep.
You stayed up later than me then.
I did.
I'm just trying to bond with everyone by saying I'm tired. I'm really very well rested.
And I love football, but I just couldn't stay awake.
No, but because we all thought we knew how it would end. And that's kind of like retirement, too. You think you know, but things change at the last minute. And you have to be ready for it.
Yeah, it's not just the one game, you know, the game that sort of encapsulates the entire season. It's what you did, you know, during the summer and to prepare for it. And then also all the games that are played during the year to get yourself to that point for the Super Bowl and actually winning that Super Bowl.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the planning that goes into not a football game, but retiring, so that you can sit back and watch all the football you want, enjoy your retirement, be happy and healthy, and it all starts today.
Yeah, so, you know, if you're planning a Super Bowl party, you know, you're in weeks in advance. This is the food I need. This is who I'm going to invite, who I'm not going to invite.
Right.
You know, laying out the checklist for that.
Oh,
so,
I'm the checklist queen.
Are you a checklist?
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha. I have one. I live with one of those as well. So here's what happens. You know, in retirement, you know, having a checklist, you know, when you're nearing retirement, as you're getting closer to it, 5 to 7 years away, is very, very important. There's a couple big items on that list that we need to be aware of. One being, you know, you need to take inventory of what you have, you know, whether it's your retirement assets, your IRA, your 401k. Also, you know, what kind of income you have coming in, and then making a budget. And then also, like, identifying how much income you're going to need when you retire, watching your fees, keeping your fees low, watching your risk, reducing risk as you get closer, and just having that education to empower yourself during retirement, make great decisions with your money. That's the name of the game.
It seems to me like when you're making a checklist like that, starting from scratch without any help at all, you're going to leave some things out. I'll bet you could name some things on people's checklist that they don't even think of until you name them. Expenses that we forget we have, or that we don't realize we're going to have when we're not working anymore.
Yeah, you know, so you know, most people have done a pretty good job of budgeting. If they're getting to a point where they're thinking about retirement, that means they have either sacrificed and saved the money that they need. So, but a couple of the expenses that are in retirement that we really don't take into account. I mean, most people, when we're working, we're used to getting that what comes into our bank account, you know,
right.
And that's after taxes. That's a big expense we have to calculate, and after health insurance costs or health costs. So, you know,
yes.
Those are two large items that we have to plan for.
So those are definitely huge things on that checklist. And how far in advance should we be creating this checklist?
Starting early is a big, big deal. Now, I tell typical folks who are about 5 to 7 years away from thinking about retiring, or, you know, most people who started working are thinking about retiring, you know, in their 20s. But, you know, realistically, if you're in your 50s or getting close, you know, early 60s, and you're thinking about retiring, and you want to start to look at this checklist and see if you actually have 100% of those items checked off, you need to start early.
So is 5 to 7 years too late, though, when you look at that checklist? Can you fix that if somebody is going into it and they're just really not ready at all?
It's never really too late. So, you know, now versus later is going to be a big, big deal. So if you have any questions about that, you need to give us a call.
I like that you correlated it to a checklist for a party like the Super Bowl party, because that's so fresh on everybody's mind. I make checklists for everything. You know, my day starts off with looking at my checklist. And so checklist is something everybody can think about. But again, knowing what to put on that checklist, that's the big thing right there. So you want to grab a pen, and we're going to help you be a winner when it comes to retirement,
that's right? Yes,
and stay out of that red zone, which you're in the red zone really 5 to 7 years. It's kind
5 to 7 years being close to that red zone. I mean, you know, starting to pull it together because now you have a plan in place to get you there, get you to it, and through retirement.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to enjoy your retirement, right? So here's a number, and I'll tell you what, the first 15 people who call right now and qualify will get a complimentary retirement readiness review with Adam and his team. So that's like your checklist, basically, this review for the first 15 people to call this number. All right, 232-8760, 904-232-8760, or you can go to wolfretirement.com, but make that call if you want to be one of the first 15 people to get that special offer. Adam, you know, I say this every time you're on the show, but I think you're salvaging people's livelihood, their retirement. You're helping so many people, whether they eventually do more with you or not. You've just spread such a good message to people that it's time for them to get ready.
Yeah, it's all about education, and once we educate ourselves on what's out there and what's available, and then go through that process, it makes it a lot easier.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eden.
And I'm looking forward to next Monday to see what we're going to learn next. wolfretirement.com once again, and we'll be back with more River City Live from the Avenues Mall.